video, I will compare restorative justice, therapeutic modality, and retributive justice.
I will first discuss about restorative justice. Restorative justice, RJ, is a process through which remorseful offenders accept responsibility for their misconduct to those injured and to the community, which, in response, allows the reintegration of the offender into the said community. A restorative effort is a holistic response to crime or conflict which needs to be attended to all in these relationships to be able to strengthen community fabric. The repairing relationships of stakeholders do not mean creating a friendly and positive attitude between them. It means restoring appropriate balance of power among stakeholders. Now I will discuss the restorative process. First is mediation, also known as victim-offender mediation, VOM. Typically, a third stakeholder, the moderator, assists the party to negotiate a settlement. This is a process that provides interested victim or victims an opportunity to meet the offender in a safe and structured setting and engage in a discussion of the crime. Second, conferencing. Conferencing is a voluntary structured meeting between offenders, victims, and/or both parties, family, and friends, in which they address consequences as restitution and other outcomes. Third, circle of support is a model of restorative justice which provides opportunity for victims, offenders, and the community to discuss the crime and its aftermath, particularly its effect on the relationships in the community. Fourth, indigenous practices. To preserve, protect, and respect indigenous practices of DOJ-PPA tribal clients, the agency adopts and adheres to prescribed mechanisms customary to their beliefs, but ensuring and guaranteeing the due exercise of the concerned tribal community to reject or allow the intervention, documentation, and publication of the DOJ-PPA of the indigenous conciliation practice undertaken. Restorative justice outcomes. First is restitution. Restitution is the payment by an offender of a sum of money to compensate the victim for the financial losses caused by the crime. It is justified in a restorative perspective as a method of holding offenders accountable for their wrongdoing and as a method of repairing the victim's injury. Second is community work service. Community work service is work performed without compensation by the offender for the benefit of the community as an outcome of a restorative justice process reached to restorative agreement among stakeholders. Crime or conflict hurts people and relationships. The three stakeholders, victim, offender, and community, are disturbed by the impact of crime or conflict. Therefore, their relationship is affected, and they deserve the end goals of restorative justice. The client offender should be accountable to correct his or her mistake and restitute whatever damages were inflicted. Accountability. The victim has to be compensated and be empowered again. Competency development. The community and its inhabitants deserve an orderly and peaceful society. Public safety. Next is therapeutic modality. It is a self-help social learning treatment model used for clients with problems of drug abuse and other behavioral problems such as alcoholism, stealing, and other antisocial tendencies. First is psychodynamic therapy. Psychodynamic therapy focuses on the psychological roots of emotional suffering. Its hallmarks are self-reflection and self-examination, and the use of the relationship between the therapist and patient as a window into problematic relationship patterns in the patient's life. Second is behavioral therapy. Behavioral therapy are these methods that focus exclusively on behaviors or on behaviors in combination with thoughts and feelings that might be causing them. Behavioral therapy is an umbrella term for types of therapy that treat mental health disorders. This form of therapy seeks to identify and help change potentially self-destructive or unhealthy behaviors, and functions on the idea that all behaviors are learned and that unhealthy behaviors can be changed. Third is cognitive behavioral therapy. Focuses on present thinking, behavior, and communication rather than on past experiences and is oriented toward problem solving. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is a talking therapy that can help you manage your problems by changing the way you think and behave. It's most commonly used to treat anxiety and depression. Fourth, humanistic therapy. Humanistic therapy, it posits an inherent human capacity to maximize potential. Humanistic therapy is a mental health approach that emphasizes the importance of being your true self in order to lead the most fulfilling life. It's based on the principle that everyone has their own unique way of looking at the world. Humanistic approaches would look on depression as a disturbance in a person's ability to grow their full potential. Fifth, group therapy. In this type of social therapy, one or more therapists treat a small group of clients together as a group. Group therapy helps individuals develop communication skills and socialization skills and allow clients to learn how to express their issues and accept criticism from others. 6. Eclectic therapy. Recently, many practitioners have begun to take what's known as an eclectic approach, meaning they combine aspects of multiple types of therapies. Eclectic therapy is an open, integrative form of psychotherapy that adapts to the unique needs of each specific client depending on the problem, the treatment goals, and the person's expectations and motivations. Next is retributive justice. The theory of retributive justice is characterized by human free will as basis of criminal liability, establishing a direct proportion between crime and penalty. Retributive justice response to criminal behavior is that focuses on the punishment of lawbreakers and the compensation of victims of the crime committed by the offender. In general, the severity of the punishment is proportionate to the seriousness of the crime. Like Babylonian Code of Hammurabi, 1750 BCE, retribution is based on the concept of lex talionis, that is, the law of retaliation. At its core, the principle of equal and direct retribution as expressed in Exodus 21:24 as an eye for an eye. Under retributive justice schemes, it is also important that the offenders actually be guilty of the crime for which a penalty has been imposed.
To justice is a system of the criminal justice system which focuses on rehabilitation of offenders through reconciliation with victims and the community at large. Therapeutic modality is a tool that the BJMP and Bucher uses to prepare the client for reintegration to the community as a reformed, rehabilitated, productive, drug-free, and a law-abiding person. While retributive justice is a system of the criminal justice based on the punishment of offenders than on rehabilitation.